Hello everyone, this is Rasul and I'm going to start this session and continue the concept of communication and also all communication mix and tools. Okay, can you hear me, friends? My voice is clear and okay. Last week we explained about the communication mix and integrated communication mix. Do you remember? Just please let me have a very fast review because I'm waiting for other friends to join us, and so please just a very fast review. The role of marketing communication: inform, persuade, and remind. Three most important roles of marketing communication. Sometimes we need to inform others, sometimes we need to persuade others to do something, and also in some cases we need to remind others about a problem, about a matter or issue. And about the communications mix: advertising, word of mouth, direct and interactive marketing, sales force, sales promotion, and public relations and publicity. Also we explained advertising is just a part of marketing communications mix, and there are many ways to communicate with customers, and just one of them is advertising. About the communication platforms, again explain advertising in one of the most important and platforms. Also we have sales promotion, with in-person communication and face-to-face communication in sales promotion, and also events and experiences. We have something about the events and some festivals and something like this, and also in sales promotion we provide some awards, rewards, and also coupons, rebates, and something to motivate customers to repurchase or purchase more. And also public relations, publicity using the press kits, speech, seminars, conferences, and something like this. And also direct and interactive marketing, the direct mailing, and also catalogs, TV shopping, email, and also using internet through company blogs and websites. And personal selling, it's very important to have a perfect sales force, because in personal selling our sales force meet the customers. And also word of mouth, very important, person to person, and also chat rooms. Using the horizontal marketing means you can use your customers as your marketers. The loyal customers can advertise for you through word of mouth, and very important way to communicate with customers and motivate them, and also advertise your products. And something about the TV advertisement, sponsorship, about, for example, Subaru, what is this features and specifications for Subaru. And we told also about the sender, receiver, and the message, what is the encoding, decoding, receiver, and noise, and what is the response and feedback from the receiver, And for example, in the in the communications process, you are sender. You send a message to, and receiver as usually is your consumer or customer, and you must consider many things in this process, and what is the noise, how something disturbs or something, some barriers to in the front of your message. And so very important thing in the communications process is the response and feedback from your receiver. In the marketing and in the communications mix, it is very important to get in and get how to get the response and also feedback. Encoding and decoding, it means sometimes your language or your way of speaking or way of explaining is different between you, the sender and receiver. For example, if you want to advertise for a smartphone, sometimes many people can use your smartphone, but they don't know about the technological explanation and features. You must provide some information very easy to understand for your receiver, and you must have encoding and decoding for the transforming the language, transforming the knowledge, and transforming something to get easy to understand for others, for receiver. The very popular, the very common example is about language. For any language, you need to translate your language to another language. For example, if you want to go to China and advertise for your some features of your product, you need translate your explanation to Chinese language. But in the general form, it needs anything to cause your message to be easy to understand for receivers. Yes, just not language, or one of the most important examples is the language. But another thing about the level of knowledge, level of information of your receivers or customers, and how to how to transform the message to a situation that is easy to understand for your receiver. One of the examples can be language, but also I explained about for example, your audiences or your customers are not, for example, don't have enough knowledge about technological features. You must find a way to explain to them your features in an easy way and to understand, easy to understand. Okay. Another thing about the some models and about the response, and sometimes your customer's response is to purchase. Sometimes the response of your customer is recommend your products to others. And there are two most important model in this way. IDA model, attention. First, you must get your customer's attention, and you must do something to get your customer's attention. And for example, using some informative advertising, and for example, a very big billboard on the highway, and the first time the people will pay attention to your name of company or name of your product. Get the attention. After that, you must try to get the interest. And for example, you are going to distribute a washing machine, and first time you can use just a very big billboard on the highway or on some, for example, public transportation, for example, bus or something like this, because the first time you need to inform your people, I am here and I want to start. Get their attention. After that, we explain about your product and your features and your benefits. You can get their interest. After interest, how desirable are your products, and you must explain through communication process and also using the platforms, for example, advertising in the exhibition or something like this. And after that, you will get their action. The best action is purchase, and sometimes the action is calling you and get more information. In any case, if you can get the action and reach the action of your customers, your communications process has been successful to get the action. But the best action and response by your customers is purchase. Another model is awareness. For example, inform customers and aware them about your product and your company, and increase their knowledge by using some, for example, catalogs, brochures, and some short videos. And after that, they will like if you assign a good strategy, and if you make a right decision to inform them, they will like. And the preference, it means they prefer your product comparing your competitors. And also the conviction, they will motivated and highly motivated to purchase your product, and finally they purchase. These two models is the same process with the different concepts. For example, these four models, four different models. We have three important stages: cognitive, they know and they are informed about your product, and they will be affected by your advertisement and your communications platforms. And the last one is behavior. What is the behavior? Sometimes the behavior is no response and they will not purchase. And the action, maybe they need more information, and also maybe they call you and tell you your price is high and your competitor is better. But the best action in some models is purchase. In this, for example, okay, thank you so much to Mr. Aziz and also Mr. Mobin to participate, and welcome to other friends, Mr. Ismail Ahadi and also Mr. Muhammad, to come join us. And yes, Mr. Aziz believes is the name of question. Is the name of product? Yes, very important in the first impression. For example, some companies use some advertising technique in the billboards. For example, just one word on a very big billboard on the highway. And the first time, it is important what is your name. And there are two important things about this one. Sometimes you need to introduce first your company and your activities, and sometimes already people know your company, but you want to launch a new product and you want to inform people about your latest product. And name of your product is very important in this case. It depends about your history and how aware are people about your company already, and also the name of your product. And also sometimes you launched, for example, 3 years ago a product, and your product has been very successful in a city, or in a, for example, a state, or in a country, and you want to remind the people you have already launched the previous one, the successful product, and you are going to launch a new product related to previous one, or maybe the new category, not the related. But it is important inform your customers in your target market. I am that company already has launched a successful, for example, a TV, successful a smartphone, or maybe you are an insurance company, and your insurance services, and new insurance services about car, about the health, and also about something related to business, and something like it, and also in education, in university, and in institute, college. Okay, Mr. Aziz, for example, Wave 3 new Samsung, yes, mobile in Afghanistan. Okay, Wave 3, maybe I don't know at the moment in Afghanistan about Samsung activities. If you can help me, I would be most grateful if you could help me, because the late, do you know, at the moment there are many challenges, and you can read or news about Apple and Samsung, about their related products, and some something like fighting each other and claim, and in some international courts they have claimed something about, for example, copyright or using the technology. And so okay, Mr. Aziz, thank you so much. The Samsung is a very cheap product for Afghan users, and the Wave 3. Okay, I mean, for example, the first time Wave 3 came to Afghanistan, or Samsung, maybe use just the Samsung name, and in the billboard, for example, maybe some TV advertisement, and also in some magazines, and for the first step, attention and awareness in this model, or attention this item model, is important to concentrate and focus on your name, and your, for example, logo color, and something like just the first impression. You want to impress your customer or your people about your name, about your product, and just after that, after a while, you can go to give them more information about your product, your product features, and specifications and benefits, and something like this. For example, okay, Samsung has many divisions. For example, home appliances, smartphones, laptop, and many things. Samsung, as for example, okay, thank you, Mr. Aziz and Mr. Mubin, about different products of for example, Samsung TV, and also air condition, and something like this. Okay, thank you so much. And already explained about just a percent of your aware customer people can get a knowledge and liking, and it means in your target market, all people as usual, they don't purchase, and just a proportion of them, and we have some ratio. For example, 50% of the aware customer, they will get the knowledge and also information, will be informed about, and some of them also they will like your product and prefer your product, and will highly motivated to purchase your product and finally purchase. It means, for example, if you have 100 people in your target market. After your communication process, just maybe just 1.5% of them, just near 2% out of 100% persons can purchase your product. It means you must be careful and you must increase these ratios, and finally get them more market share in your target market. Okay, so this one also steps in developing effective community. Already we explained about this one, and last week and also about identify who are the target audience, deciders or influencers, current users, and also potential and prospect buyers. They are different. These three already I explained this one. So about what is your objective in the communications process, brand purchase intention, category needs, brand awareness, and brand attitude. Already I explained all. And the very important thing in the communication is what to say, who should say it, and how to say it. The very important things in the communication. Okay, it's not just about the business and marketing. In any communication, you have these three. Okay, for example, for the marriage also, these three stages is important, and these three components. What to say, for example, you want to ask somebody to marry, okay, and what to say, who should say it, and how to say it. It is very important also for marriage, how to say it. Sometimes if we don't know how to say this one, maybe we miss a person to marry for marriage. Okay, so personal communication and non-personal. It means face-to-face communication we have, and sometimes in the public communications, mass media, and something. For example, in seminar, one person has a speech for many people, and sometimes personal. You will face the salesperson or sales representative, and something like this one. It is different ways to these two kind of communication: face-to-face or non-personal, and personal or non-personal. And also about the budget, very important. We must choose the affordable method, and also how, for example, how much money we want to spend for the communications process. How percentage of sales sometimes is a very good criteria for choosing determine how much they determine the money and the amount of money. And so objective and task, for example, it's related to the objective and task. And also this one I explained already. And marketing communication means how we can get the characteristics, factors, and measuring the any platform of communication. And also I explained about another time different and the specifications of every platform in the communication, and benefit of each one, and factors in setting the mix. And also I explained about product life cycle and sent to all the PowerPoints of this file: product life and cycle and types of product market, and cost effectiveness, and also buyer readiness to between advertising, there is a comparison, compare with advertising, sales promotion and personal selling, about the cost effectiveness and also a state of buyer readiness. And there are some, for example, ways to compare. And three important things in the frequency and reach. How many people will be informed, and also how many times you inform them. And it is important in the choosing the media for communication and which media, and also attitude of the finally attitude of your audience, and the level of their awareness, how aware are about your product. And also I had example already last week. I can this one. For example, another way to compare some platforms of communication, for example, a comparison between advertising, direct response, sales force, and events and experience, and integrated marketing communications. Also, already I sent you all the files, and this one just I had a review about the last week, and this week I want to explain about give more details about the advertising, and I want to I also explained about the 5 M's of advertising. What is the mission of your why you want to have an advertisement or advertising? For example, you want to increase your sales, and you want to introduce yourself, you want to get more market share, or you want to you have a positioning, and you must explain about the advertising objectives in the mission in your company and your corporation. And the most important is money. How much money you must spend for your advertising, and for example, which factors you must to consider. A stage in PLC. What does it mean? Anybody can tell me what is the stage in PLC? Please participate. Explain what is a stage in PLC. Anybody can help me? Can explain about the stage in PLC? What does it mean, a stage in PLC for money? How much money you want to spend in your advertising? Nobody can explain. Hello, can you hear me? No. PLC already I explained, and again maybe need to explain for you. And please, maybe some of you, I'm not sure the last week were absent. I think. Do you remember this one? Every product has, in some books and some references, 4, and in some books 5 stages. You introduce a new product to the market. PLC means product life cycle. It's a very important concept in the marketing and management and business for the product, any product, any goods or service. Okay, did you get what I mean? It depends in which stage you are, and based on any stage you can decide about how much money to spend for advertising. For example, you introduce a new product. It needs time to have a growth on the market, and if your product is successful, can have growth and after that the profits will increase, and after a while will be mature in the market, and for with coming the new product and other competitors, maybe you will have decline your sales. And every product has has these four steps. Sometimes in some books also we have this step, product development. You need a stage for the product development, and in this stage you don't have any profit or sale. Just you spend, you have some cost. For example, in your factory you are working on a new product and assembling something to provide a new and produce a new product, and using the new technology, for example, or something in your insurance company, in your travel agency, and also in your institute, and any, for example, corporate and any discipline and any kind of activity. You want to introduce a new product, you need something to develop your product, and after that introduce to market, and when you introduce, gradually increase the sales and profits, and after a while we have it depends on the product, and maximum sales and maximum profit. After that, maybe your company launch a new product, or your competitors, and also maybe new technology. For example, I already explained and had an example last week about the CD or DVD, and about the different kinds of memory of PC and computer. Okay, and so this one is very important. In which, for example, if you want to introduce a new product, sometimes you need to spend more money on advertising, because you want to have a positioning on your people's mind. And some in the new steps you need more and more spending on advertisement and your growth. And sometimes when your product is decline, also you need more advertisement to keep your sales, because you want to prevent the declining your sales and profits for your product. Okay, it depends, and it depends on many factors. One of them is this product life cycle, how much you can spend money on advertising for a product. And something for example, market share. Also, already I explained market share is different with share and stock. Market share means how many percent of the sales of a product is belongs to your company. For example, if in Kabul every month 1,000 TV sold in the Kabul, and the Samsung TV, for example, out of this 1,000, 200 is Samsung TV. Okay, we say Samsung market share in the Kabul is 20% in this month. Market share. Okay, and another thing about the competition and clutter, the very close fighting, and maybe different kind of advertising, and maybe your people will be confused about your product and your competitor's product, and very very close competition, and also advertising frequency. What frequency you need? For example, how many times and how many times in a month, every year, a week you need advertisement. It can determine how much money you must spend. And also product substitutability. What does it mean? How your product can substitute by new product. Already I explained about the new technology and new product. And message, you must provide a message. After that, you choose the message. You must same time find the media, suitable media for your message. For example, suitable media for your message is TV, sometimes it's newspaper, sometimes magazine, and many different kinds of the media. But it is important reach. how many people can get your message through the media, and what is the frequency and also impact, and how your media can impact and affect on your audiences. And after this one, choosing the message and media, you must measure the performance of your advertising, and after that you can check how the level of communication impact, and also the sales. After any advertising process, you can measure your sales and profits, and you can determine this kind of advertising affected and can have had any impact on your sales or profit or not. Okay, and this one will be the 5 M's of advertising. Also, already I told you about the communication task, achievement level, and audience and period of time. And I want to, okay, this one is persuade, inform, reinforce, and remind. Persuade, inform is related to the first step, is attention. Okay? You remember this one, this model? I want to explain for you again this model. Excuse me. This model. If you have a look in the attention, process, in the communication, and this IDA model, in the related advertising is inform customer to get their attention. Okay, and persuade is make them to buy your product, and persuade and motivate them and encourage them to buy or purchase your product. And you can go there in the interest and desire. Their interest and desire is related to the persuasive the advertising. Okay, persuasive and informative and persuasive advertising are different. And these two, remind and reinforce. What does it mean? Remind the customers and reinforce them. Anybody can tell me? What is the remind? When you advertise for remind the customer, anybody can tell me? Remind the customer. Remind your customer something. Okay, when you want to remind, okay. For example, already you have launched 2 years ago a good smartphone to the customers, and they were satisfied. You remind, after a while you didn't have any advertisement, and you can see your competitors are very active to the market, and you need to remind your name to customers. If you have been successful, you need to remind the customers, I am the company that already launched this product to you, and you can remind them by some strategic advertising technique. And also reinforce means you can assure your customers that already purchased your product. You can show them your choice was correct because you have experienced this kind of benefit. For example, you already launched a new, for example, air condition to the customers 2 years or 3 years ago. After 3 years, you can show them some movies and some reports about the satisfaction of customers and your air condition benefits, to reinforce them and to assure them their choice has been correct already, comparing your competitors. Okay, And thank you, Mr. Momin, also to nominate something. You mean about reinforce, yes? Could you explain more? Oh, for remind. Okay, okay. For remind, yes, can remind your customers. As usual, remind is used for the remind and make customers to remember a memory about your company or your product. The old memory about your because sometimes you can see your sales, for example, your sales is declined in this stage, a product. You must remind your customers again, I have the product that already you purchased and this with this benefit, and we are distributing and launching again this product. Please buy our product. When you are in declining, for example, you need the remind advertising. And reinforcing is make assure them their choice have been correct already. Okay, thank you, Mr. Mobin and Mr. Aziz. Thank you so much. And also, Mr. Mobin, thank you so much for good remarks. You and Mr. Aziz, thank you. Could you write to everyone, Mr. Mobin, because others also can use your remarks and points and about this concept. Thank you so much. Because at the moment I saw you have written in privately. Please write to everyone. Thank you so much. Okay, nomination, nominate something, okay, can be related to both, remind and reinforce. Thank you so much. And if you want to explain more, I can send to you the microphone if you like to explain more about this one. And anybody need to, for example, have microphone, I can pass my microphone to you. You must compare advertising budget and the level of awareness of the people. You mean, for example, which factors you must consider: product life cycle, market share, competition, and advertising. Already I explained this one. And you must measure the advertising, compare advertising budget and awareness of your audience. And okay, Mr. Mobin believes if we purchase some product of the company before, we reminded it. No, that's correct. Exactly. It means remind. Okay. Already I told you you can remind because already you have been successful and you want to remind the customers again about yourself, especially in the when your sales is declining or decrease. Okay. Thank you so much. Correctly, exact. Excuse me. And already I explained about the message strategy. It means what you should say, and creative strategy how you should say. It is important. For example, if you are you want to have advertising for the adults or kids or something, for example, teenagers, different message and different creative strategy need. And you need, for example, for a toy is very different with, for example, new books for the educated people and new, for example, the cutting edge technology about the new smartphone. All of these different and message strategy, what you want to say and how you should say something, what message and how to say this message, how. It is a creative strategy, and Mr. Aziz believes okay. Already I told you how much percentage of Mr. Aziz for the, okay. There isn't any standard for this one, and it depends on the management. And also already I told, again I want to remind you again this one about the budget. In which stage you are in the product lifecycle, what is your market share, and in the base of the number of consumers, and what is the and also the latest competition and fighting with other competitors, okay, and how many times you want to advertise, it is important, and also how substitutable is your product. For example, in the today, if you are producing the smartphone, you must know in this kind of technology very competitive, and many companies are producing an R&D. Your research and development is very important in this case, because any new technology, for example, tonight, tomorrow, every time, hourly and daily, many new technology come, and it is important how much to spend to advertising this, catch the market share and more sales. And because, for example, if at the moment you are producing and launching a new memory, you must know the memory and flash memory and pen drive very competitive, and maybe at in this at the moment I am talking with you, and we are in this class. Some company reach the new technology about the memory or a smartphone or other things, and all the time maybe the new product, substitution product. For example, DVD is a substitution product for CD, and CD was for disc. Do you remember this already? I mean the old memory and old memory of computer. And for example, today we have a flash drive in a substitute for hard disk, and in the laptop or computer. And also, could you have another example for the? For example, newspapers and magazines. They have substitution at the moment. Internet and digital media are substitution for, and many people don't buy newspaper or magazine because they can use internet and they get the news and advertising through internet. For example, these factors affect the how much, and there isn't any standard. In some books you can see, for example, in introduction stage you need at least 20%, 30%, 10%, and 50 something, but there isn't any standard for allocate the advertising budget. Depends on these factors. Okay, thank you. There are already I told you there are three most important things: reach and impact, and also frequency. Reach, frequency, and impact. If you want to choose the media, for example, if you want to use the newspaper, magazine, TV, cinema advertisement, and you must know how many people averagely use this kind of media in your target market. How many people, and your message will reach to how many people? Okay, did you get what I mean? How many people can get it? And also local announcement. Very good. Thank you so much, Mr. Mobi. And okay, Local announcement also is another media for the informing the people. And what about the frequency? How many times a day? How many times a week? How many times a month? Your media is can communicate to your target audience. Okay. And for example, how many times the people use this media? For example, many people watch TV every day, but maybe they read a magazine once a week. Okay, it is important, the frequency of using, and already the impact. Excuse me, Mr. Mumi, could you explain for me? The someone is in front of the market stand for announcing. Okay, you mean about the local announcement? Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, like cool water, cool water. Okay, thank you so much. Good example about the local announcement. Thank you so much. You mean something like the point of purchase advertising? Yes, I see. You mean, for example, somebody or someone in the shopping centers or in the market? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. And what is the impact? What does it mean impact? Already I told that every media has some people and can reach to some. For example, in the many countries, TV media, more people use the TV and watch the TV comparing with reading the newspaper or reading magazines. In my country, the people who are watching TV are many, uh, more than the people read the newspaper or magazine. What about Afghanistan? The proportion of these, for example, I mean, these two kind of media in advertising. Okay, TV. In many countries, I think TV at the moment more. And it depends on your budget and also your message. And radio, very good. Radio is very important. And yes, okay, radio also very important. Thank you. And impact. Impact means, for example, if you want to sell something to farmers. Farmers better go to local announcements. For example, you want to advertise for a fertilizer. Okay, for a fertilizer, better go to the place and go to the farms and meet and visit directly and personal selling to customers better, and also personal you can have some free trial and some samples to your customers. For example, for the farmers, no good your advertisement in the newspapers or magazines, because as usual, farmers in many countries don't have access to newspapers and magazines. You must evaluate the impact of your media. Which kind of media is important in your but if you want to, for example, advertise for a new travel package, as usual, many people interested to travel use newspapers and read the newspapers and magazines. Maybe good strategy using the newspapers for travel package by your travel company. Okay, and also very good. Okay, and already I think. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mubin. Many good examples, and also Mr. Aziz, Mr. Mubin, message board and billboard at okay, and digital screen on the road, very good. A highway, yes, already I told about the billboard and posters and brochure also and flip chart. Very good. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Mubin and Mr. Aziz and other friends. Thank you very much. Your very good example. Thank you, thank you. And so, please don't be confused about the medium and media. I want to explain first this one. I want to remind you what is the we have many platforms for communication. One of them is advertising, okay? And at the moment I'm explaining about which media is good for advertising, okay? Which medium, and the media is the plural for medium, okay? Medium is singular and media is plural word for medium. I want to explain this one. When I can, okay, I'm talking about the media type. Media type. For example, reach frequency and impact. After choosing how many people you need to be informed about your company and your product, how many times you need, and the impact of for example, your advertising. You can choose the media, and it means you can use newspaper, magazine, TV, or brochure and catalog and billboard and something like, for example, in the cinema and something like this in the media type. And what about the media vehicle? If you choose the media, you must find which part of this media can be helpful. For example, if you choose the TV as a media, which program of TV you must choose, and which time, what time between two programs you must choose for your advertising. It means the media vehicle. And media timing, what about the schedule and timetable for your advertising in the media? And also about geographical media allocation. Which kind of geographical region you want to advertise yourself? Very, very important. This 5. Okay. Mr. Momin says the some program is arranging in cars. Okay, yes, in cars, and also, for example, using the taxis, cabs, buses, and the underground to announce. Okay, in the city. Yes. Okay. No. Excuse me. Vehicles is not related to cars in this case. Sorry. If you mean the vehicles means which part of any media will be more helpful with your advertising. For example, if you want to, I can have an example. No. Vehicles is not. It doesn't mean just bus or cars. Media vehicles, in any media you have some vehicles. For example, please don't be confused about this one. Sorry. Bus or TV, bus or taxi or cars can be a part of the media vehicles in the outdoor advertising. In outdoor, please be careful. I want to explain for you. For example, if you want to advertise outdoor, you can use billboard, buses, underground, and taxi. Billboard is a vehicle for the outdoor advertising. This word vehicle is not related to cars or transportation in this concept. Okay, please don't be confused. Okay. Oh, very good. Some channels, very good. Some channels arranged in a specific media. a specific medium. Okay, thank you so much. For example, in the TV, if you choose the media, for example, media type is TV. What are the media vehicles? For example, there are a very good program before the news and, for example, 8 p.m. There are another, which vehicles you must choose. If, for example, you want to advertise a toy for kids, better the best suitable media vehicle in the kids program, cartoons, before cartoons or before some programs for kids and children. Okay, not just geographical. No. Media vehicles means any subset of your media. For example, TV has many programs. Any program of TV is a vehicle, media vehicle. In the outdoor activities, any kind of billboard, bus, or in the other vehicles of. Okay, did you get what I mean? In the newspaper, for example, newspaper. In newspaper, the first page, in the middle page, or the last page. In the magazine, in which part of the magazine? Okay, it means not vehicles just related to transportation, and this word is different. Please don't be confusing. Don't be confused. And excuse me. What do you mean? Okay, already I told you some channels also can be used for this concept. What do you mean by this one, Mr. Mobin? And for announcements, you mean please pay attention first. Okay. Oh yes. Some channel also yes. You mean for example, the radio, for example. Yes, but in the radio also, in every, for example, 22.6 FM, you have some programs. For example, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the night. And which kind of program is suitable for your advertisement? Any program also will be a vehicle for your. No. After this one, we have geographical. Oh, you mean geography? Okay, you mean the last one. Okay, we haven't reached the last one yet. After media timing, we will reach to geographical media. Okay. I thought maybe you are talking about the media vehicle. Okay. Wait, please. I will explain for you. Media timing. What about based on your budget and your money? You can, for example, sometimes with the TV, just you can have 30 seconds advertising before a very, for example, famous program in the TV. You must arrange your timing and your media. And for example, sometimes you need everyday advertising in the newspaper. Sometimes just once a week. You must choose the timing. Okay? Suitable timing and correct timing based on your budget and based on the importance of your advertising and also your audiences and also your media. You must find the timing. In geographical media, allocation means when you want to choose, for example, media and media vehicle, you must pay attention to the geographical media allocation. It means how many regions can be covered by your media. Okay, it means, for example, a newspaper sometimes is just for a city and just publish for a city and spread on some part of the country. and some newspapers can sell in all states of the country. For example, in Iran and Malaysia, we have some newspapers just for a city and not for other, for example, cities or other states. And some newspapers cover all geographical places in the country. And also cable TV and also radio can, as Mr. Mobin already mentioned it, about the geographical media allocation, and how many it means in your chosen media, how many cities or how many geographical parts can be covered, and you can decide about this one also including the media. And it is important how big is your target market and how in terms of geographical aspect. Did you get sorry, Mr. Mobile, what I mean? Another thing is important, the some advantages and disadvantages of the media. Please have a look at this one. Just a 3 minutes break. Okay, thank you so much. 3 minutes break. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much again to attend this class and waiting for me. Thank you. Okay. I want to explain about some advantage and advantage. For example, a medium is newspaper, television, TV, direct mail, and radio. And you can have something about the advantages. And newspaper, the most important disadvantage is short life. Okay, just one day, and after one day, maybe many people forget the newspaper content. And also the important advantage is flexibility, and you can use any message and something in any area. And also television, multiple senses is most important thing, and so the important thing is the high absolute cost and very costly in the television. And so about direct mail, you can have a look at this kind of the advantages and disadvantages between, for example, radio mass use and high selectivity and low cost comparing to TV. And but because it's just voice, single sense, and it is a passive, and it means just you cannot interact with the radio. Yes, you will be passive in the, for example, radio and TV. And so another thing about this one, the medium magazine, outdoor activities, and yellow pages for the business, for example, advertising the business. Internet. What about the internet? The new era is internet. And high selectivity, you can select, and you have the wide variety of the selecting area, and you can choose. And so, and many customers need to any branches and any things, and so interactive possibilities, because you can do web 2 and it's person to person between company and the customer, and between customer and customer you have interactive possibilities, and relatively and compared with other media, internet is low relative cost. And increasing clutter, what does it mean? Anybody can tell me? Increasing clutter in the internet. What is the disadvantage of internet as a media for advertising? You know, this table is about advantages and disadvantages of the media for advertising. More major media types. Because internet at the moment plays an important role in advertising, I want to just explain. Increasing clutter, what does it mean? It means you and many competitors same time are advertising, and there are some confusing messages and some, for example, close fighting and competing to each other, and many times maybe your message or your advertising will not have just positive impact on your customers, and maybe you can miss something in this very competitive atmosphere through internet, because the access to the information is very easy, and so it's really competitive advertising. And also sometimes they can, because in the internet there isn't any control on the messages and advertisements, and so sometimes the negative advertising about your competitors also is possible using the blogs and something like this, and also many matters in the internet as a media for advertising, and all the time you will not have the positive impact and positive okay. Excuse me, mister. Okay, in yellow page you mean. You know, yellow page is some, for example, directories of inside of them many information about the companies and the corporate together, yes? For example, yearly yellow page published by some companies to introduce all companies in a, for example, one industry, and all important products related to each other. It's categorize any industry and some companies with it. Because for the creative message and also using some creative strategy to sending your message, you have some limitations. Yellow page, as usual, in yellow page you have a very limited space, okay, and you cannot use creative, okay? You cannot use your creative ways to introduce yourself better, and it means you have, in the terms of creative messages, you have some limitations. Okay, you cannot use your another categorized and classification of the media is this case, for example, for public spaces in the airplane, airports, and bus, and product placement. And also, what about product placement? Anybody can tell me? A billboard and point of purchase. So one of the most important examples for product placement is using the product in the one, for example, movie or one documentary video. It means, for example, in the movie Hollywood, for example, Hollywood makes a movie, and in the movie you can see, for example, cigarettes using by a famous actor or actress during the movie. For example, during the movie, the one actor used a special car, a latest product of, for example, BMW. It means product placement. One of the kind of, you mean you can see you cannot see directly any advertising about a car, but you can see the famous actor or actress driving this kind of car, and you can be impressed by this car, but not directly advertising about the benefits of this car. Did you get what I mean? Product placement. It can be yes, a kind of indirect advertisement. Yes, yes, can be. Yes, yes, correct. Very good. Thank you so much, Mr. Aziz. Yes, yes, can be a kind of indirect. Product placement means you can see product when using product in the movie or in the some, for example, TV programs, and you can see very good advertisement. And billboards and point of purchase means in the shopping center, and when in the point of purchase in the shopping center you can advertise, and because it can be very effective way to advertise. And already I told you about the media vehicle. Okay, which consideration you must, for example, the number of your audience size, and the media cost, and the composition, the getting ready a program, and for example, advertising message, and you must consider all of this together to using the media types of media, and which program and something, okay, related to this. Another important thing, we can pass this slide because we don't have time. I want to show you something about this one, also sales promotion and events and experiences. Okay, please let me first. Okay, one important thing left about advertising. The last thing about advertising, measuring the sales impact of advertising. Shares of expenditures, and share of voice, share of mind and heart, and share of market. It is. It means after advertising, how much. For example, what about your expenditures? And it is important share of voice and mind and heart and the market. How much you can get the share from this part of this one? For example, it depending on how much you spend in the share of expenditure, how can get the share of mind and heart of your customers. It is important. How much you spend, how much get you share, the mind and heart of your customers, and finally share of market. If you can get the share of mind and the heart of your customers, you can get the share of market. Okay? It depends. It means you must measure how effective has been your advertisement. How many customers added to your loyal customers after advertisement? How much your sales increased? And very important, how much your market share increased? Or, for example, already I told you, suppose in 100 sold TV in the couple, 220 is belong to Samsung. Maybe after a good advertising by Samsung, this 120 out of 100 increased by to 30 TV out of 100. It means the increased share of market by Samsung. Okay, did you get what I mean? Okay, did you get what I mean? How much you spend, how much you get share of market finally. How much you spend and how much your voice is heard by your audiences. Okay? How much you spend, how much you can get the mind and heart of your customers. You must evaluate and measure all the time these comparing to each other. And sales promotion means activity in the short term and for stimulate sales and motivate the customers to more buy. For example, a special discount or a special package, a special buying condition for your customers. You invited, for example, customers to come your shop and get 70% discount. It means sales promotion. And also, I can explain for you something. Sorry, wait, please. You can use many tools and incentive tools as usual in short term to motivate your customers, your people to purchase more, and sometimes, for example, you can use particular products in a very, very low price and make customers to buy a greater amount of your product. Suppose sometimes you are familiar with this kind of sales promotion. For example, buy one free one. You know this one in your shop. Buy one free one. Okay, or buy two free one, and so something like this, and especially. Why you do the sales promotion? For example, you want to increase repurchase. Invite your previous customers, loyal customers, to come to your shop and motivate them. Sometimes you want to give them gifts, and for example, buying a credit card and with something inside, for example, $100 credit to buy something, and also a very important thing, product trial. You invite customers to your shop or your place to provide free samples of your product to use. Okay, they can try. For example, they can eat something in your food product free and taste. And also brand switching. Anybody can tell me what is brand switching? Brand switching is good or not for the company? What is brand switching? Anybody can tell me what is brand switching? Brand switching means some customers switch and they leave a brand and they choose a new brand. And for example, between two competitors, they forget the previous one and motivated to buy another competitor product. Brand switching means change your brand. Suppose you using the Daria as a detergent, as a powder for washing machine, and you choose. Do you know the Daria washing machine powder? Okay. You decide forget Daria and choose another product, for example, produced by an Australian company, or for example, Afghani company or something like this. It means switch, brand switching. Brand switching is good if some customers forget your competitor's brand and come to your brand. If you want, but sometimes it is inversely, and it is bad news for you if they forgot your brand and choose another competitor's brand. For brand switching, sometimes you invite people to come to your shop, and after they come to your shop, they can, for example, they can see your product is better than competitors. They switch brand, and this kind of brand switching is good for you if they forget your competitor's product and choose your. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Aziz and Mr. Mubin. Mr. Mubin, Payman, I see cream is better than. Okay. For example, you got that the Payman ice cream is better than Sharif ice cream. It is if already you purchase the Sharif ice cream, and at the moment you are going to recently you got the Payman is better. It is brand switching. You forget Sharif and go to Payman. And sometimes you invite the people to sales promotion because you want to motivate them to forget your competitor's product and choose your product. Okay, this was the kind of. Okay, already I sent this file to you. You can have a look at this one. Next week, hopefully, more students join us, because maybe this week, I don't know, maybe internet problem or something about this one. Another thing, media. Okay, thank you, Mr. Movin. Sony TV is better than Sharp TV. It means if you got this one, yes. It means brand you do. It depends on your perception of this, Mr. Movin. Did you get what I mean? For example, maybe at the moment, your friend believes the Sharp TV is better than Sony TV. If you forget the previous one and go to the new one and new competitors, choose the competitors so that you stay brand switching. Maybe you and your friend do brand switching same time in two different directions. Did you get what I mean? Brand switching all the time is not in just one direction. Yes, a very good example. Thank you, Mr. Mubin. And you mean, for example, inversely, some people maybe shift from and switch from Sony to Sharp. Okay, thank you so much. And also another thing, after sales promotion, we have events and experiences like exhibitions, fairs, and sometimes seminars, conferences, and seminars and conferences also related to public relations. And so you can use something like this. One of the things, for example, events, sports events like Olympic, World Cup, and some sports events, and festivals, and also entertainment, house marketing, and so the arts, and there are the kinds of the events and experiences and major sponsorship decisions. And just two examples. For example, factory tour. Factory tour is very, very good experiences. Some company provides some free factory tours for people. You can go to the factory and have a look and visit the assembly line and the workers and the factory atmosphere, and also have a look at the latest technology, and also corporate museums. Some corporate has museum, and you can go to the museum and they have a look at the historical products. Very good way to attract customers, and also factory tours. Also are looking for experiences. and also public relations. I think because we don't have time, I prefer the other thing for next week. Just want to show two. I want to ask you a question about this kind of.
1,111 pesos, and we'll refund pesos in health services. You'll also have ambulance service, medical attention in our 20 clinics for only 100 pesos. 812-40724. Christus Muguerza. Your health is our mission. Get your membership Christus Muguerza for only 1,111 pesos, and we'll refund you 1,000 pesos in health services. You'll also have ambulance service, medical attention in our 20 clinics for only 100 pesos. 812-40724. Christus Muguerza. Your health is our mission. Get your membership Christus Muguerza for only 1,111 pesos, and we'll refund you.
Okay, did you get this clip and the voice clear? And could you tell me what was about which kind of advertising? This one. Do you remember I told you we have some objectives for advertising, and which kind of advertising? This one, this video. This one, which kind of advertising? This advertising I showed you through this clip. Okay, anybody can tell me which kind of objectives for this advertising? Okay, can you hear me, friends? Very good, very nice, thank you. This is the informing and for inform the customer, inform. Okay, have a look at this one also.
Now are for everything. This lasts a week. I don't know, it sells itself. The ShamWow sells for $19.95. So you get one for the house, one for the car, two for the kitchen and bathroom. But if you call now, within the next 20 minutes, because we can't do this all day, we'll give you a second. So that's 8 ShamWows for $19.95. It comes with a 10-year warranty. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-951-7807. That's 1-800-951.
A chamois, it's like a towel, it's like, hi, it's Vince with ShamWow. You'll be saying wow every time you use this towel. It's like a chamois, it's like a towel, it's like a sponge. A regular towel doesn't work wet. This works wet or dry. This is for the house, the car, the boat, the RV. ShamWow holds 20 times its weight in liquid. Look at this. It just does the work. Why do you want to work twice as hard? It doesn't trip. It doesn't make a mess. Wring it out, you wash it in the washing machine. Made in Germany. You know the Germans always make good stuff. You can cut it in half. Use one as a bath mat, drain your dishes with the other one. Use one as a towel. Olympic divers, they use it as a towel. Look at that, completely dry. Put a wet sweater, roll it up, it dries your sweaters. Here's some cola. Wine, coffee, cola, head stain. Not only is the damage going to be on top, there's your mildew. That is going to smell. See that? The most, now we're going to do this in real time. Look at it. Put on the spill, turn it over without even putting any pressure. 50% of the cola right there. You follow me, camera guy? The other 50%, the color starts to come up. No other towel can do that. It acts like a vacuum. And look at this, virtually dry on the bottom. See what I'm telling you? Sham wow, you'll be saying wow every time. I can't live without it. I just love it. Oh my gosh, I don't even buy paper towels anymore.
If you're going to wash your cars or any kind of vehicle, you get out of your mind not to own one of these.
All I can say is, Sham, wow. You're going to spend $20 every month on paper towels and your money away. The mini Sham wows are for everything, for everyday use. This lasts 10 years. This lasts a week. I don't know, it sells itself. The Sham wow sells for $19.95, but you get one for the house.
Okay, also you watch this one. What about this one, this kind of advertising? You can tell me, Mr. Mubin or Mr. Aziz, Mr. Ismail, Mr. Muhammad. Okay, could you tell me which kind of advertising this one? Okay. Which kind of advertising? Already I told you: persuade, inform, reinforce, and remind. Yes, cleaning cotton. Which kind of objective in this advertising? Inform, reinforce, remind, or persuade? Thank you, Mr. Nur Muhammad. Thank you so much. And what is the objective? Share information. Also including share information, very good. But if we want to choose the one objective from these four, which one is suitable for this one? Can be informed, Mr. Aziz, but you see many usage for this cotton, and also interview with some customers about the benefits of this one, and many, for example, explain about the benefits. And I think the persuade is better, Mr. Nur Muhammad. And reinforce is about the already you okay. You bought this one and they want to remind you very good and your correct. But in this one, I think persuade is the best. I think. What about your others' idea? Mr. Nur Muhammad believes reinforce, but reinforce is when already you bought. This one is what it was the persuasive advertising. Because after watching this advertising, maybe you will be motivated to buy this one, purchase, because they focus on the benefits of this product a lot. Okay. Also can be, for example, informative, because some information also provided in this advertising, and also reinforce. It means already you bought. If you have the first time, it was the first time you see this advertisement, this one cannot be reinforced, because it's reinforced is related. You already bought this one, for example, 2 years ago, and at the moment they remind you. But this one, I think, was the first time advertising in the city or in a country. Okay, thank you so much to all to attend to this class and participate. Thank you so much again. Very nice to meet you in this virtual space. I hope that the next week we can continue this concept and explain about the other communications platforms, and we can talk about the other way to communicate with customers and consumers, and also something related to the kind of the trade and business, B2B, B2C, and also C2C. And we can have something about this one next week. Thank you so much. I will send the supporting materials to you. Hope all is well with you and family, and have a nice time with your family. And please be keep in touch with me about the final project, because I think maximum we will have one, or I'm not sure. I think the next week will be last session, but maybe we can add another session. It means we will have 2 weeks, inshallah, hopefully. And so I try to arrange more sessions for you. Thank you so much again.